OneNote क्या है? If you have to understand OneNote specifically, OneNote is basically when you put a Word document in a linear form. अगर मैं बिल्कुल layman में बात करूँ, so when you put Word documents in some linear form, that is specifically OneNote. So it is more or less the usage is related to Word, but उसमें एक थोड़ा सा difference आता है that OneNote is more sorted out and more planned in comparison to Word documents. How do we say that? First of all, let us understand how do we find OneNote. So you have to go, when you go into your Chrome or whatever browser you're using, you basically get OneNote. You can download it in as a Microsoft application. I'm already have my account in Office 365, so it's visible over here. So these are few of the folders, few of the notebooks I've created in OneNote. Now, if I start from very basic level, in OneNote, you have this opportunity to create these notebooks. So OneNote gives you this opportunity to create these notebooks. Now, when I have to create this notebook, and what is a notebook, you will understand once we enter into OneNote that what exactly is a notebook in OneNote. Now, I have these many notebooks that I've created for various things that I do. Supposingly, I want to create a new notebook and I go for a teacher training session. I just type it and I can make a new notebook for myself. I can create one. I've already created one, so let me just use that one. That is teacher training over here. I'm opening up this notebook, which I'm already using. Now, when we go in this notebook area, in OneNote gives you this, you have all these options of quick notes. So quick notes is usually by default that comes over here. So if you have to understand, it will give you this option of all the notebooks visible here. All the notebooks that you have created till now are visible here. I don't want to see them, I can hide them. Then I have this option of making certain sections in notebook. So if you have to understand how do you create one, like supposingly I have to create a notebook. Let me create a notebook for you. It will help you in better understanding, and I will do it in perspective of an educator, that if you are a teacher, if you are an educator, how you can basically use this notebook. So let us do that. Okay. So now when I go back to creation of my notebook, I have a notebook name. Let me create a notebook for grade or maybe I want to create a notebook of science. So I mention over here science. Create. You can see there are many color options available. It gives you this option also if you want to be more creative and want to add in certain color options. You can make your notebooks colorful in the cover part. Inside, we always have this section. So this notebook is empty. Click here to or press enter to create a new section. Now, what is the section? So I have this notebook science that I have created over here. In this notebook science, I want to add a section grade 3. I can add it. So I've added one section. Then I want to add further a second section. Maybe I take grade 3, I take grade 4. Let me add that section also. Now, once I've added these sections, let me add one more section to see how well it goes. I have grade 4 as well. Okay. Grade 4. Okay, so this has a space. Okay, we already have grade 4, grade 5. Yeah, so we have grade 5 now. So we have these 3 sections, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5. Now, I want to add pages in this section. So right now, please try and understand, I am helping out in creating this notebook in with perspective of an educator. However, it can be used in any way you like. So I'm assuming that there is a teacher who is taking 3 grades and the teacher is maintaining a lesson plan or maybe a notebook to be taught to that particular grade throughout the year, and how the teacher can sort out that particular grade in a better way. So this training session is from a perspective of a teacher. We nowhere are talking about other things this notebook can do. This notebook can be used by businessmen. This notebook can be very well used by people from accounts. So everybody can use it. But I'm strictly over here following the perspective of a teacher, of an educator over here right now. Fine. So let us get back to this place we are. So we have grades, and now in grade 3, I want to make this notebook specifically chapter 1. So I want to talk about my chapter 1 in that grade 3 that I'm about to teach. Or maybe I want to separate out physics, chemistry, biology. Maybe I have a IB school or a CBSE student and I want to add about physics, chemistry and biology. Now I also want to add a page, one more page. And here is chemistry. And then I add one more page, which is biology. Fine. So I have made my sections and my subsections. Now I'm worried. I wanted biology first and chemistry later, so I can shift it like this. I can move around the tabs. Also, I want to add some more sections, maybe some more pages. Now in this case, I want to add chapter 1. Chapter 1 of physics. But when I see it, it creates a bit of a confusion because it's physics, chapter 1, chemistry, biology. So we don't have any differentiation that it is a heading or it is a subheading. Now, if you right click over here, basically you find this option of make sub page. You can basically convert, if you have noted specifically, you can convert this into a sub page. I will zoom it in so that you can basically see it. I will do it once again. Now I right click it. I have this option of make sub page or promote sub page. Now I can promote it, but now I basically want to make it a sub page. So you get this option of creating a sub page over here. Now, okay, fine. So this is one option. Now I've created my chapters. Let me add some more chapters. It will give me more clarity. Now when you add further, I can have my chapter 2 over here. So in this way, you can structure your lessons and your notebooks in a very wonderful manner, in a very structured manner in OneNote. If in this case we were using Word, Microsoft Word, what would have happened? You would have had a big document, a big folder in which you would have created 3 folders, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, and further in those folders you would have created all these chapters. So this is the structuring which you get, a linear structure which you get in OneNote, which is not available in Microsoft Word. Now let us go back to our notebook that I wanted to show you and share with you today. That was my teacher training notebook over here. Now in this teacher training notebook that we have, let us open it up. Yeah. So these notebooks are saved in my OneDrive. OneDrive is similar to Google Drive, but OneDrive is provided to you by Microsoft, Google Drive by Google. So that's a basic difference. Now, let me open up some other document. Okay, so here is my teacher training notebook that I have. So supposingly I have my teacher training plans that I have to teach you Microsoft, I have to teach you Google, and in that I have to teach you these topics and I want this discrimination. Then I want my global education to be taught. And now today what I'm doing is I'm talking about usage of OneNote, that how we can use OneNote in a very effective manner. Now we'll begin with the basics of OneNote, that how we actually use OneNote in our classrooms or in our daily life. So let us begin over here. Just give me a second. I just want to check that. Yeah. Okay. So when I'm talking about the basics part, firstly, I will introduce you with the tab because most of you are new to the whole provision of OneNote. So let me introduce you to the tab. So you have this option of file. It allows you to go back, print, share. We are not using it right now. Then this home section gives you all the possible icons similar to Microsoft Word. You may, I believe you will feel that all these are quite familiar in how you use Microsoft Word. Then you have this insert option. You can insert a table, a file, a picture, a link. You can also insert an audio recording if you want to do in case of OneNote. Then we have further is that you can draw. You have this option of drawing. I will show you. I'm just giving you an overview. You can view what you have created. And if you want, you can also open it in your application. I'm using right now a cloud version. And if you want, you can also open it up in application in Microsoft application. Though I feel that the cloud version gives me some more options in comparison to the application that I am using. Fine. So let us get back to where we work. Now, let us start by discussing each and every option that is available. You can already see that there's an option of a table which is included over here already. Now, if I want to insert a new table, I will go to the insert section and I will pick up a table. It allows me to create a table as per my needs. I can have maybe this table, and now I have this table over here. I have this option of expanding this table. It's almost like if you're using Microsoft Word, I'm pretty sure you are quite aware that how we insert tables and use them. So it will work almost in a similar way. And when you right click it, you have all these options of inserting, deleting, and selecting particular cell. The best part is when you, okay, I have some, yes, I don't know why. Okay, fine. So now the best part is that in case of Word, when you have to write something, you have to follow the sequence. Now, why I like OneNote, I can start writing from anywhere. So I click here, I can start writing from here. I don't have to wait and write only in the sequence which is provided to me. I can just move around. If I want, I just pick up my table, take it anywhere. I will pick up my text, I will take it anywhere. So you can create your own small sections. Supposingly, when we make notes, that's why the name OneNote is there. It makes you experience the way we usually make notes in our notebooks. It is the same similar experience that you are having over here right now. Now you can also, if you want, you can insert some image into this cell as well. So if I want, I can pick up some image from my system. I have downloaded an image of let me see, I will have something in my downloads for sure. So no, I think I have something in my desktop. So I have a heart diagram. Okay. If I want, I can insert this image over here. So it takes a bit of a buffering time. And now when it's inserted and I use my basically, right? So you see you have an option of grow. I want to grow the picture in size. I want to shrink. If I want to crop a particular section, I can also do that. So these options you get with images over here. I'm just showing you that in case you want to use the cells, so it's very comfortable in inserting anything in a case over here. So now images is one thing that you can for sure insert. I will go to the insert section first. Then we have is, I have to click here. So if I have my insert option, yeah, and I want to insert a file. Now I can insert as an attachment, I can insert as a printout. So let me try and insert some sort of a printout. Now what is an attachment and a file printout? Let me show you. Supposingly I want to insert a file. So let me select one. And let us have this document of maybe add one document. Just a second in my downloads. So I have this one. So it's my own personal document. Let me just open it up. Yeah. Choose file, insert. Now you would see that I don't have to copy paste the document. The document itself came in the form of a complete document and I can actually edit it like any other document I would have done. So these are the options you get with OneNote. You can insert a document. If I want, I can actually take my image and keep it along with the document and I can actually use it. So I can drag and drop on this OneNote page easily. Now I will, this is one sort of an insert option we have seen. We have seen a picture, we have seen a document. Now supposingly I want to insert a video. Now usually you will be surprised that we get an option of inserting a video link, but I'm talking about inserting a video. So for example, I had this video which I did yesterday and shared with few of the teachers. Now supposingly I want to use it, and let me just make my page a bit clean. Okay, yeah, so let me just clean my screen. Now I have this video that I want to insert. Now you get an option of inserting a video on your OneNote itself. So supposing if you're creating notes for your kids and you want them to watch a video first, and then you want them to read the text, and then you want them to take an assignment, everything can come on a single page. while we were using Google Classroom, we had this option, but then we also had this option of creating different files. Now over here, what I'm saying is we create a page and we insert everything on that particular page. So you can see this is some video you can actually play over here. If you think that you don't want to give a video, you just want to share the link with your students, you'll have to pause it. And you don't want to share the video exactly, but you want to share the link with your students. Let us remove this. Educators and even parents. So today, yeah, I don't want to have it. I want to insert the link. So I go in this option of link and I copy my URL over here and I display it as speech to text. So they won't see the video in over here because it saves me some space, but I will obviously have this link over here. I can insert the link over here. So that's an option which is usually available. Now, one option which I like and I find quite beautiful. So supposingly, you have this problem that you are worried that your students can't actually study and you cannot share videos with them. You share notes with them, but you are sending the notes separately and then you are sending the audio recording separately, if in any situation. Now, this is an option in which you can embed your recording. So whatever I'm saying right now, it's getting recorded. So if you see, I have this option of over here, I have this option of stop button. And if I want, I can actually stop the recording and my recording is happening right now. So I'm recording my text. I will just click a stop button and the complete. So I have now this option of just a second. Yeah. So now I have my screen in which I have my OneNote in which you can actually see that I have already entered my audio also. Now if I click over here, I can listen to my audio and let you embed your recording. So whatever I'm saying right now, it's getting yeah. So here is my recording. If I want, I can also embed a recording file. I'm clearing it because it takes me to some other places usually. Now if I want to insert, I have already inserted an audio. I can insert various symbols. It gives me an option. There's a symbol for math. I want to come into that in quite a detail. So the basics are you get all these options which you were getting in any other file in Excel or Word that you were using, and you get this beautiful opportunity to use it in OneNote as well. Now let us have some more discussion on certain things. Let us go next into the topic that is basic teaching. Now the basic teaching, when I say is, it's always about that I want to use my screen and I want to work on that model of using it as a whiteboard. Or so when I talk about using it as a whiteboard, you have this beautiful option in case of OneNote that you can easily draw. If you see over here, I have this option. I can just select the size of my pen I want to use, and then there's a pen I'm selecting. There's a color palette that I want to use. So here I am also selecting a pen for sure. So just think sorry, I was selecting the eraser, but you have to give me a second. There's some issue with my I think I have some issue with my stylus. To give me a second. I must have entered some sort of a wrong icon somewhere while it's working. Okay, let me just wait and see. So, you have to allow me to open up a new notebook. Just give me a second. Okay. Yeah, so it's allowing me over here. I think I have some change that I have to make with my stylus. So I will do it later now. Yeah, so it's allowing me over here. Thinks this file got corrupted in some way or the other. Let me just open up some other section of this file and cross check. So this is something which can happen to anyone, anywhere. So yeah, I'm not able to use it over here in this file. So with certain reason, okay, yeah, I can use it now. Fine. So I have my stylus working back. Now when I talk about basic teaching, so yes, you can easily insert certain images, supposedly. I'm about to insert some image over here. So let me pick up an image from file. And I will pick up an old image that I used recently. I think that was of a heart diagram. Yeah, so we have this. Okay. So I'm inserting this image. I can just increase it in a size a bit the way I want it. My text box, see, if you just notice one thing, I increased the image, my text box actually got itself accommodated accordingly. This image is not that clear, but yes, if you want to draw on that image, you get that easy option of drawing it and writing and using all those colors for your students for reference. So if you want to talk about something, if you want to talk about right auricle, left auricle, or ventricles, if you want to elaborate, explain, whatever you want to do, you can basically do using this option of drawing on the board. You can choose up a marker. If you want to highlight a particular section, you have a palette you can basically use over here. So there are all the options which you can use, and if you don't want to use them, you just erase them over here. So what happens with this document, why I like it, supposedly I'm teaching to my students, and I while teaching I have this draft. Now while writing, what I do, I select this picture and I start writing or elaborating over here. Now I want this information to remain, so I want this information to remain over here and turn them into notes. So होगा क्या, जिस तरह से हम notebook में notes बनाते हैं, the way you used to make notes in your notebook, you will have similar notes over here. Similar type of notes will get formed on your OneNote screen, and then you can save this file and share it with your students. So you don't have to go here and there. So you can pick up image from anywhere and add it in part of it and write on the screen. That's what I'm using right now. So these are the basic teaching tips which you will always have with you. Now let us go to the next part, which is my favorite part of the complete section. For people who are into mathematics, I must say OneNote is a blessing. So if we have certain teachers who are from maths background, you are about to love what I'm about to share with you, this option. So, okay, let me just show you now. Now, if I talk about maths, suppose I'm very bad at maths. If I do some calculation mistake, please ignore it. I'm not a maths teacher at all. So if I will use some better color now and some eraser. Okay. So if I have x by 5 plus x by 6, and I want to find an answer for it. Now I'm worried that what is the answer, and I'm asking my students that please find an answer for it. Trust me, I was not aware. I'm not aware at all what should be the answer. So I select this option, and then I go to this option of math over here. Now when I click on this option of math, you will note it has an option fix it ink to math. Now if I put ink to math, it will change into an equation automatically. Did you see the change over here? So it basically changed itself by itself, and it converted into math. Now I want to select an action. How do I select an action? I can do solve for this term. So I have this answer coming up. So it's actually showing me the answer. If I want, I can share this answer with my students that, okay, this is the answer for this equation. But my students are someone who needs step by step. And even I am in a habit of discussing things in a step by step manner. So what do? I go back and click this option of show steps. So when I go for the solution steps, it will give me all the steps which were part of the solution. I can pick up all the steps and I can take them over here. And here I have this equation with these steps. I have done nothing. I've just written a question and I have an answer. So people, please remember, if your kids can get to know about this application, they for sure will solve all the mathematical questions in some minutes, and you will be in trouble in one way or the other. But as a teacher, you're about to love this option. Now, along with the maths, maybe for these, because these are part of maybe equations, I must say. Now, I wish it was part of, I had this option when I was a student and I was very bad at things. So now there's an option of graph, and I want to have this graph as part of my, see if you can see there's a graph in 2D. I can just insert it on the page. Now here I have inserted this graph as part of my page. Can we solve any grade? Yeah, it's about mathematics. You just put questions and it can help you out. So I don't know up to which grade it will go. Maths is not my subject, but yes, you have this opportunity. So if you are a mathematics teacher, please go ahead and explore it. And if you get something new, inform me also about it. Now we also have this question. Somebody, can we solve any grade? Okay, thanks. Fine. So now we can also go for this option of graph in 2D. And I also want to insert, so I can have a graph. The difference was graph both sides in 2D or graph in 2D. So I have this option of insert on page. So if I use this option and I go further, I get another graph which I can basically use as part of my screen. So they have got overlapped each other, I believe, but you have these two graphs which are available right now. So you have to just tightly structure your sheet and you can get your graphs inserted. So this is how it can happen. You can, if you want, you can zoom it and show it to your students as well. So this is one application of OneNote which makes it quite a favorite for mathematics teachers, maths teachers. So yes, you can basically use it in that context. I hope it is clear for maths teachers now. Now the next plan, we talk about lesson planning. Now I usually plan my lessons either in Google Classrooms or I use OneNote for this purpose. I don't want to share, but maybe if you see my notebooks, I have various notebooks which I have created, and all my plannings usually happen in OneNote. I make those plans. Oh, the reason is I want to see things more into a linear structure, and this OneNote gives me an option. So, supposingly, I'm doing my lesson planning, and I want to add a page that, okay, fine, I'm a topic of OneNote. So if I'm teaching OneNote, what I want to teach first, I mention over here, and what I want to teach next, I can mention next. The best part, I can drag and drop anywhere on the screen, which makes it more comfortable for me to use it. Now, the important part when you're doing lesson planning, I will give you a small example because I carry some experience being a school director in the field of how things usually happen in a school. So usually used to happen when I've seen in some traditional settings that what teachers do, they ask their teachers to prepare a notebook in the beginning of the session, especially when it is about kindergarten and in schools where they don't have that setup of a proper lesson planning. So they ask the teachers to prepare a notebook, and then the notebook is based. I will just keep on writing so that you're not missing anything. So they ask them to make a notebook, and that notebook will have the annual syllabus, and it has a very beautiful description of and written ki top pe title aayega, and it's already mentioned in the notebook, and then you have keywords that you have to mention in the classwork notebook, then you have your sentences, make sentences, then the teacher basically leaves space in the notebook and says, okay, fine, in left hand side you will do this, and right hand side maybe in the notebook you will do question answers. Now this is something which a teacher has to form in a physical notebook. What I'm saying is you can make a similar notebook not in a physical setup but in a digital setup, and you don't have to worry about creating new notebooks every year because this notebook is a digital format. You can come back and change the notebook anytime you want. Also, what you can do is when I talk about lesson planning, supposingly this is about the notebook that you're creating, especially in case of kindergartens, when you have to talk about that, okay, in the first 2 days we will talk about slanting lines or sleeping lines in that context. Now there are also situations when you are planning for senior classes that, okay, this is the test setup I want to give, but during my test setup I want to first give them certain notes. So you want to make notes, but every time it happens, you create notes, and then after certain duration, the syllabus gets changed. Now I want to give my notes, but I don't want to do this hard work again and again. But I'm more comfortable creating these notes in handwritten format. So yes, you can create this notes in handwritten format and then share this document with all your students whenever you want to. And you can also remove the rights for them to see this document whenever you want. So this gives you a lot of opportunity. Also, if you want, I can create this document. If I say that what is a plateau. So, and I give some question to my students, and I create a question over here, a diagram, and I ask them to make the updations in this diagram. So what I can do is there's an option of collaboration. So there's an option of share, and an option of share, you get an option of collaboration. So you get this option of sharing this link with everybody, and anyone with the link can edit. If I want, I can change the setting to set expiration date. So for instance, I want to share my document, but I want to make sure that after a particular duration, maybe for after 1 year, this document expires. I don't want them to use every time. And I can set a password if I want only my particular students I'm sharing with. They should see it and others should not steal away my notes. So you have all the opportunities of this thing in case of OneNote. Now I will just rush through the session because we've already crossed a limit of 45 minutes, and there are still two things that I want to share with you. Now, not much, but yes, this creating notes are connected with me, and it was about dictate. So there's an option of dictate in OneNote also. You can see that when I'm speaking to you, at the same moment, there are things getting typed in this section. So you can dictate your notes out, and you don't have to go through the trouble of typing them or copy pasting them and creating a mess, that what I have done right now. So yes, there's an option that you can follow. I would like to stop it. So you can see that almost it has picked up my language in the way I have dictated it. So it's taking up your voice, and you can create your notes. And I have written some 4 lines at in less than 30 seconds, which I usually don't do. So yes, you have this option of creating notes with the help of this dictation app. It's available in Microsoft Word also if you are using Microsoft Word. And now one of my favorite option, which I would like to go now, is a Clipper. And that's the last thing we are discussing on OneNote today. Now this is an add-on which is available with OneNote. It won't be available. You have to download it. I have downloaded it in Google, and there's an extension over here. If you see on right hand side along with my picture, not on the screen, but over here. So if you see there's an extension over here, let me open it up. So this is a thing which I like. Now, this website was giving me trouble and I hate it. Let me get back to it, and with a feeling of revenge maybe. And right now, it was not letting me copy. I'm so sorry. I think the content in this website was non-copyable. So that can be one reason that it did not allow me. I have this realization now. There are certain websites which don't allow you to use the right click, and maybe I was caught there. Okay, so let me see if it's allowing me now. This is an option which it has given, though I am strictly against stealing up information, but we are reading up information or maybe collecting notes or writing pieces. So there's an article. If you see, usually this is how the page looks. So if you try to copy paste, the complete page comes up. Now, I have an option that I can select a particular region and use it, but I don't want to maybe. I have an option, I can just select the article, this article. I don't want any other information on my notes. So if you see how refined it is, it has just picked up the article. I can do one thing, I can make sure that it reaches the location. So it gives me an option of location, where do I want this article. It also gives me an option of highlighting certain things. So what I do is, I pick up this option and I clip it. Now my article has got clipped. Wikipedia is always available. Let us try and clip something from Wikipedia. Okay, let us ask Wikipedia about OneNote. So then it is giving me option of Microsoft OneNote. Yeah. So now let me see if Wikipedia allows me to take notes. So I have this option of article, which OneNote honor of Alexa rank. I think notes being created and organized on OneNote.com. So it has given me all these options. Let me see if it's allowing me to clip it and use it. Okay, clipping successful. Okay, let us see if it has allowed us. Yeah, so now you see over here, okay, that NCRT solutions are also reached. So the syncing was taking time, at times it does. So we also have our Microsoft OneNote from Wikipedia. So I have copied all my Wikipedia notes along with the photographs. The complete article is over here along with the links. I also have my NCERT solutions over here. Now you can easily, you don't have to go there, copy paste. You use this clipper option and you have it. If you want to add some pictures, you can do that. So this is how it makes your life comparatively easier in case of copy pasting. That's one good option which we are getting with OneNote. So here we have most of the things of OneNote I've discussed with you. I've already told you in case you want to share this document, I would let you know once again. If you want to share this document, you have this link which is available. You have to click, anyone can edit this and then apply. You will have this option of copy link. There's a shareable link that you will get and you can share that link with anyone you know. So this is mostly about OneNote, and let me stop sharing my